time with family, staying active, doing what you love. We understand how important it is to live your best life, even as times are changing. At Bossard, we strive to help every patient achieve.
Welcome to the newest episode of Talk of the Town. I believe this is episode 32 of the Talk of the Town podcast, brought to you by the Galley County Chamber of Commerce and Holzer Health System. My name is Josh Wellington, the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce here in Galley County. And joining me today, the Director of the Bossard Memorial Library here in Gallipolis, Debbie Saunders. Debbie, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We've been talking about this, and you've got so much going on and coming to the library. This was a perfect time. But before we get into what's coming, I want to talk a little bit about the library and then your kind of history with the library. As long as I can remember, Bossard Library has been right there between, is that Spruce Street and Spruce and between First and Second?
Yes.
And, where was it kind of previous to that, and how did it get to where it is now? And then we'll talk about kind of the growth.
That's a great question and a great piece of history. So, on 2nd Avenue, the Lupton Building, which you'll notice if you drive down 2nd Avenue, you'll look up and you'll see the special building there that still has the Lupton marking on that.
Okay.
That is where the library first started, and it was a group of ladies who were very much into literary pursuit. They loved books, they loved reading, and so that group of ladies is known as the Thursday Club. That club is still in existence today. They still meet.
Wow.
And that was around 1898, around that time that the library was formed, yes. And so they did some fundraising through a taffeta newspaper, which we still have at the library, auctioned that off, and that gave them money for the first books for the library. And then the library then moved eventually to what we know as the Carnegie Building, which is now the Gallipolis City Schools Administrative Offices.
Right up the street from us here on 6th Street.
Close, yeah. So years later, it moved there. And so many people in our community still remember visiting that as their library.
Right.
And the librarians that work there. And then in 1978, there was a bequest given from the Bossard family. And so the library moved from the Carnegie location to where it is currently now. It was a warehouse. It was converted there on 2nd Avenue. And then in 1991, that's the year I started at the library, Josh.
Wow.
So there was an addition. And then in 2015, we finished our latest edition, which is the Riverside Room. So those who have attended events in the last few years have probably been in that large multi-purpose room. That's our Riverside Room. So that's kind of the legacy of the building itself and for the library services in Galley County.
Were the Bossards a local family?
Yes. Yes. Dr. Bossard actually worked at that time at the Gallipolis State Institute, GSI. At that time, we kind of know that as GDC now, yes. And yes, so he was actually an Army doctor, and he also was employed there, and they gave the money for the bequest for the library, for the building part of that, for the library. Yeah, so we still don't receive money from the Bossards, but there was a bequest given back there in the 70s for the building to be converted, and it was named the Dr. Samuel L. Bossard Memorial Library.
Wow. So you started as the new building takes place, and so you've been, you come in what role?
Okay. Well, as a high school student, I came into the library as what we call a library page. In other words, you would shelve books. You would help patrons find the book they were looking for.
The old Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, basically, which we still use. But I remember when I was in that role that kind of do what we tell you to do. So if we tell you to go get the mail, if we tell you to make coffee, so it was really just, it was a great learning experience because you really learn from the very basic but very, very important functions because the books have to be shelved for people to be able to find them. So it was an important function, but yeah, got to learn kind of those entry-level tasks and then just kind of build upon that.
So a lot of people, when they think library, they obviously think books, and I think that kind of evolved into, people could get DVDs or movies over the years, but also a lot of the research, pre-Google.
Yes.
You would go, I remember going in as a high school student or even junior high to the microfilm and finding old news articles and just that click, 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 click noise from that machine, flipping through all those things. And the more you turn the knob, the faster it went.
And the more seasick you felt.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you've seen a ton of technological change over
sure.
the years. How has that, like, I guess, changed the overall aspect of a public library?
Well, that's also a great question. So libraries are ever evolving. So we talk about our traditional services. So that's kind of like our book lending programs, things such as that. And those are still at the heart of everything we do, Josh.
Right.
But we also have these non-traditional programs and services. So from a technological standpoint, some of it's just changing in ways. We still have those microfilm machines.
Wow.
But I will say that now we have, through a project that we did, our microfilm is digitized.
Okay.
So from any computer with an internet connection, you can go to our website, go to the Gallup Police Daily Tribune, go to our archives, and you can search. So if you want to look up, let's say you're looking up a sports article from the 1970s, you just want to really know how the stat turned out. Or let's say you want to look up someone, the announcement when they got married, or a certain, like the Silver Bridge disaster. People are still interested in that in our area, obviously. So you could go back from any computer with an internet connection and do searching. Instead of having to do microfilm, you can just do it from remotely wherever you are. And so it makes searching that so much easier because it's indexable. So I've done some work for people, like they'll say, hey, I want to know this score from back in the day when we played this game. And it's just a matter of right at your fingertips, typing in the school name, the dates, narrowing it down. You can print from there. You can email from there. So it's a great research tool.
Wow, that is tremendous. And the ability to have that and not even have to leave the comfort of your own home.
That's right.
Just another outstanding service from the library. And you talked about the new room. We utilize that I utilize it twice a month with CIC meetings and then our Lunch and Learn series for the chamber. Just a fantastic, state-of-the-art, perfect for small meetings. I know you just had the Visitors Bureau dinner for their annual dinner here just last night.
Yes.
Just an amazing asset. Another thing that may be kind of overlooked, so to speak, but projector built in. Everything is there that you need, and you guys are so easy to work with. I can call you or call in and say, hey, can I have a list of dates, and this is how many people I'm bringing, and yes, we need a projector, yes, we need the computer, and I know that when we show up that day, unless I drop the ball and put the wrong day on the paper, which has happened, I would highly suggest that you make sure when you turn that paper in that you know what you're talking about, because it will be what you said it will be. It's just I put the wrong day once, and
we worked it out.
We did work it out, but that morning we had about 10 people standing outside in the cold wondering what I did wrong. So you talked about the non-traditional side of things. The traditional side is the research and the periodic room and all of that stuff that comes with, you can find any grade school or high school library, but Bossard sets itself apart with these events. So before we go into kind of your non-traditional stuff, I know there's a big event that's coming. You guys have gotten really regional, if not national, recognition for a couple of events that you've brought in. That's free to families, if I'm not mistaken. So you've got another one that you've just announced, and I'm excited. So if you want to talk a little bit about the newest exhibit that's coming to Bossard.
Sure, I'd love to. So many listeners probably remember visiting the Bodies Revealed exhibition that we brought in 2016. And we were the first public library in the world to host that exhibit.
Wow.
And in its 3-month run, we had about 20,000 people come through our doors. So that helps for tourism in your county.
Oh, absolutely.
But, more importantly even than that, just the number of students that got to see that caliber of an exhibit who may never have had that chance, or the students in our area that can say, look, we saw that right in our own hometown. That's special. So we followed that up in 2019 with the Space, A Journey to Our Future exhibit. That was actually seen at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. So we brought it right here to Gallia County.
Wow.
And then we started looking for the next exhibit. So
the
we were
next
excited.
big thing.
Yeah, the next big thing. And so our board looked at that, and we discussed it, looked at a lot of different ones. And we were really pleased to announce that as of October 1st of this year, for a 3-month run, we will bring Savage Ancient Seas to Gallia County. And that's the only traveling exhibition that features the marine fossil world of the late Cretaceous period. So it'll be filled with these huge carnivorous marine reptiles, gigantic flesh-eating fish big enough to swallow an adult human, flying reptiles with a wingspan of a small airplane, and the biggest sea turtles to have ever lived. So it'll be unrivaled for the varieties it'll have in there, and it's unlike anything you've probably seen. So we're really excited to bring that to Gallatin County.
If you're a fan of the Natural History Museum at the Smithsonian, Night at the Museum kind of stuff, this is the quality of exhibit that you're bringing here. This is world class. It's not something that somebody went and made out of, a 3D printer and said, this is what it would have looked like. This is this is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is free of charge to the community, correct?
Yes, because of the community support through their tax dollars, because of our property tax levies and just our state funding. That's how we're able to not charge admission at the door for this. And we just thank the community for their support, because that's what enables us to do all these programs that we're talking about today and more. So thank you to our community members. It is their library, and we want to turn a product that they're proud of and that they really say, when I get my tax bill, I feel like I get my tax dollars worth.
Right.
So that's the goal, and for families and for all ages. And so this Savage Ancient Seas exhibit is just one of many examples of how we want to do that. And, kind of puts Gallatin County, you do a lot of work, Josh, and the Visitor Center and so many others in our community do so much to put Gallatin County on the map. And this is another way to do that.
Absolutely. And that'll run from October 1st through the end of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you get family coming in for the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Great time to come out and show off your community and the things that we have here. I feel like that the community right now is Gallatin County is poised right now to really make some big leaps when it comes to attractions and reasons for people to come here. And this is just another thing there to add to that. And we couldn't be more proud of the work you guys are doing. And
thank you.
We talk about an asset to the community. You've done everything from not long ago you did a drive to get library cards in the hands of kids. Yes, and they got Aaron and Aaron Buckley were here.
They're great.
I think last week or the week before last, and we talked about the little card holders that they had done at River City Manufacturing, and just all of that stuff that goes into making this something that brings in children. I had a conversation last night with someone that the stuff that we're doing now or trying to do as a community is not for us. It's to make this place as awesome as we can for our kids.
It's building blocks.
It is. And so you guys have all of these things. I remember with me as a kid, it was the bookmobile. So if we were at my grandparents on Sunday, I'll never forget, I think it was Sundays that it ran, and we would ride our bikes probably 3/4 of a mile to the nearest stop and go down and get books or whatever. And it just, if you can get that itch for reading and learning into these kids and do so not just through books but through these exhibits, it starts them on a great path to really a better life.
Yes, and Josh, that's what we're all about. Also, always focusing on the reading and literacy, but at the same time providing these opportunities for people. Whether they would have the opportunity outside the library doing this or not, but there's some people that just would not, be it an economical or geographic barrier for whatever reason. So we really strive to bring those opportunities right here in our hometown, right here to Gallatin County.
And like you said, not everybody can afford or has the opportunity to go to the Smithsonian or to go to a museum in New York or even to go to COSI.
Correct.
But to be able to bring this here, and let's be honest, kids today learn differently than the way I learned, the way you learned. It's a lot more visual now. So to be able to see this ancient shark creature thing and be right there and realize, man, it was this. It's hard to put into perspective how big these animals or whatever were. But outside of that exhibit, you've got a ton of other things coming. So let's start with Living History Nights.
Okay.
People are familiar with Chautauqua.
Yes.
That has been in the park for years. And the speakers come in and they portray characters from history. And from what I understand, that kind of statewide went away.
My understanding is that or on hold, or how, I don't know the right way to say it, Josh.
Yeah, it's just not there.
My understanding
it's
is not right there for this year. Right?
So some folks, including yourself and the library, came up with the plan, well, why can't we do it?
Right.
So in June of this year, and I believe if I'm looking right, it's the 9th, 10th, and 11th in the city park. Or no, it's at the library.
It'll actually be at the library.
In the library. 3 historic character portrayals. Talk about who people are going to be able to sit and listen to and the portrayal of these characters.
Sure. So our local committee went with the theme Notable Ohioans. That's how we thought we'd just kind of kick off our own local event. And so on June the 9th, attendees will have the chance to see George Armstrong Custer portrayed. And remember, when these scholars are in character, they are in character.
Yes.
So they stay very true to that. And we're very fortunate that our presenters this year come recommended. Our George Armstrong Custer has portrayed Custer in the state and very, very well known in that role, very reputable. So we'll have George Armstrong Custer being portrayed on June 9th. The following night, that Friday night, June 10th, we'll have Woody Hayes portrayed. So we know this is Ohio State country.
I'm so looking forward to this.
And amongst other teams, obviously. We have a lot of Ohio teams we root for. But it'll be really interesting to see Woody Hayes portrayed. And then also on June 11th, a little bit of local history, it will be Mad Ann Bailey portrayed. So it's like an Indian scout with ties to Gal Police.
I was unfamiliar with.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity for people to come out and learn about these people. But like you said, these are, like, if you knew this person personally and their name was Bill and you called them Bill, when they're you're not going to get a response.
No, they'll say, who are you talking to?
Yeah, who are you talking to? They are in the moment.
They are.
And I know that Chautauqua has been a huge success here and is often looked forward to. So to be able to have this with a local flair, I think is tremendous, and just one more thing that people can come to. Is there a charge for this event, or is it reservations? Or
no reservations, no charge. We're very fortunate that along with the library, we had sponsors in the Gallia County Convention and Visitors Bureau and also the Ohio Valley Bank. So we want to thank them.
Yes.
So those are some of our sponsors, and we're just very fortunate to be able to have this event, and we loved having it in the Gallipolis City Park. That's just such a beautiful area to have it. But due to some costs and some constraints, weather things you have to be concerned about, we just decided this year we'll try it this way. So this is our inaugural year of doing it as a local committee, but we'll take recommendations and feedback and things when this is over to see how well our community liked it. But there'll still be our refreshments. We'll have our musical entertainment each night.
Oh, fantastic! So
just come out and enjoy Notable Ohioans as part of our Living History Nights, June 9th, 10th, and 11th.
On top of that, and on top of the exhibit, you just told me about another new thing that you have coming that is pretty exciting to me, and I'm going to take it to my kid as well. But I have some questions about this.
Sure.
But you have guitar clinics coming. Tell us a little bit about that. I'm really interested in how this is going to go. I think it's very, very. I'm musically minded. I can't play the radio hardly, but this is exciting. This is exciting.
Well, part of our mission in providing opportunities for people in our community, this is kind of what sparked this idea, and we just like the library to be involved in a lot of different subject areas. The music, the arts, history, crafts. We try to offer a lot of those kind of things. So along that music vein, we wanted to offer beginning guitar classes because we know there's people who may like taking those more in a group setting. There might be people who economically aren't able to. For just a variety of reasons. So we just decided maybe just the time's right and they see the library's doing it and they're comfortable there and they want to do it. So they don't really need to have a reason, but we wanted to begin a beginning acoustic guitar class. And so we started looking into this, and I wrote a grant through the State Library of Ohio. It was an IMLS grant through them, and I'm pleased to report that it was received. So the library got this grant successfully. And what will enable us to do is we're going to be able to provide the guitar case, guitar picks, capo, all those things that's needed for those participating in the class, which will be a 12-week beginning acoustic guitar class. It's going to be led by Niles Elliott. Niles attended the Berklee College of Music, so those music lovers out there are people that are familiar with that school. It's very well renowned.
Absolutely.
And for those John Mayer fans out there, I like to give a little shout out. He actually went to Berklee. So if you like guitar and like his style, he went to Berklee. So, but Niles Elliott will be our instructor. And I think it's really great that we have a local musician who's willing to do these classes and of that caliber. I think it says a lot. And we had other local musicians who were interested in the lessons too, who were very qualified. So we also are interested in talking to them if Niles wouldn't be available or some reason like that. But for this first class, we're really excited to have Niles Elliott as our instructor. We'll provide everything needed for those ages 12 and older who want to participate. So registration is now open. Class size is limited to 10. But I want to emphasize that even if you call and can't get in this first class, we're going to have a wait list because we plan to continue this. And we just continue to roll the classes, okay? So it's great that we feel like every 3 months, every 12 weeks, however we're going to look at that 10 people are going to learn beginning guitar. And then who knows where that might lead.
Could that lead to another set of classes? Maybe beginner level 2 set of classes.
Yeah, we're open to some things like that just to see what demand we have. So we're kind of treading some new water here. But yes, we're wanting to see where this leads. And so we do have, you call the library to register for this class. If it's full, we'll put you on a wait list, and then we'll contact you when a class is available. Right now, it's Monday nights for an hour from 6 to 7, and it'll be for 12 weeks. Again, you check out your guitar kit from the library. You'll need a library card, which is important for a lot of reasons, that you have that card. And we'll provide you everything you need, except you just have to get to the library. Other than that, everything's there for you. You'll take your guitar kit home to practice till the next week. So it's not a matter that you have to leave that at the library for a week. You'll have that. And you'll be able to check that out for the life of the class. And we just want people to have the opportunity to learn the skill of playing guitar. And then maybe they'll pass that on to another generation, or we don't know how that could really grow. Yeah. So we're really excited about it. And so that will start here in May. So it'll be the 12-week course. And again, I just can't emphasize enough, if you don't get in this first class, be sure you get on the wait list for another round of the class. We do have some forms that have to be filled out. For minors, we have some paperwork that the parents allowing it, but we've streamlined that the best we can, so it's not hard to do. Just check that out. There's information on our website and on our Facebook page.
That's exciting to me. And like my example would be, I have a daughter who's 9. She's not old enough to go in the class, but we have a guitar at home that is just sitting in the corner.
Right.
Or you could get a youth guitar. So you learn on Monday. You go and teach your 9 or 10, 11-year-old on Tuesday.
Right. That's right.
They can sit there and watch what you're practicing.
Yes.
And do the same thing. So
Exactly.
it can become a family.
It could be a family
thing.
Sure.
Or if your kid is older and wants to learn, it could be,
Yeah, exactly.
you could attend at the same time or whatever. It's another great event that people could go to.
And again, the guitars will be available for checkout.
And right or left-handed.
Right. That's right.
Yes,
right or left-handed.
right
We
or
have both.
left-handed.
We have the music stands for the night of the class, and so everything you need is right there. Just register and be committed to the class, and it's no telling how far you may go. So.
That's fantastic. So we've talked about Living History Nights. We talked about the sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
We've talked about the guitar. What else? Are there anything else coming that's on the list? I mean, you've got things going on all the time.
We do, Josh. So we're really gearing up for our summer reading program, which is for ages birth through 18. So we have something for every one of those ages. We really encourage reading during the summer because it's proven that reading levels can go backwards in the summer if you don't maintain your reading level. So we encourage that. So there's incentives for registering for our summer reading program. That'll be toward the beginning of June. Okay. So there'll be incentives for registering. And then you can earn some prizes through the summer as you complete different levels of reading. The theme this year is Oceans of Possibilities. You kind of see my theme.
Yeah, you got a theme.
All kinds of possibilities. Yes. So we'll have an Oceans of Funny comedy magic show coming. We have the Bright Star Touring Theater who will present The Little Mermaid at the library this summer. Oh, wow. The Columbus Zoo is coming for a visit. And Josh, honestly, I could go on and on about all the programs we're going to have, but I wanted to hit those 3 highlights because we also are able to bring those 3 programs through a grant we got for the summer reading program through the State Library of Ohio. So we work on grant writing too, and we have the opportunity, and it helps bring some of these programs here. Also, if we could talk maybe a little bit about our Wi-Fi to Go program. Okay. So we know that many in our community lack internet access. That could be due, Josh, we know, to geographic barrier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So terrain, geographic, economic. A lot of reasons. And so the library currently has an inventory of 350 mobile hotspots that we circulate to patrons in our community for this Wi-Fi to Go program. And so it allows them to have internet access in the home so they can work from home, students to have a boost of internet for schoolwork. I always like to tell the story about the person that we had during COVID who had to telehealth because he wasn't supposed to leave his home. His physician had asked him not to. And so through one of our hotspots, he was able to do his telehealth appointments in the home. So it was a safety issue for him and convenience. And so it's much more than just, even though it's fine to stream a movie, even though it's fine to use it for relaxation or recreation, it's got a lot of other reasons too that these hotspots can be used. So we have 350 hotspots out there now.
Wow.
For patron and family use. And so we're really pleased to offer that service. We also have internet access at the library and computer workstations to be used too, and a lot of helpful tools online that you can use remotely to help you doing homework, even if you're at home and need to look up things. Josh, we have a lot of digital content, so you can download music, you can download ebooks, audiobooks, movies, TV, all of that with your library card through a service we have called Hoopla and the Ohio Digital Library. Those are two separate services, but on our website under digital downloads, all you need is a library card and PIN, and you can start downloading today. It's awesome. So you can download a lot of the latest music, and it'll just automatically go off your card after a period of time, so there's no late fee worries or anything like that. So I just downloaded a book that just came out that I'm excited to read tonight on my iPad. But if you want to download the latest album of your favorite artist or a movie to watch right before you board the plane, I've had patrons do that. So they have a lot of digital content too that's free to you through the use of your tax dollars. So if you're not into the physical book as much anymore, you always have the digital option with your library card.
Wow.
And then you want to talk bikes, Josh?
Yes, I did. We've got just about a minute and a half.
Okay.
But yeah, we were talking before we came on the air about the bike rental program, and I think that's a tremendous asset. So yeah, I want to touch on that real quick, and then we'll get into how can people learn more by getting a hold of the library.
Okay. So adult patrons ages 18 and up with a library card can borrow a bicycle from Bossard Library. We have a trike bike and the fleet of 10 other regular bikes. We also allow for minors to use those with parental consent and things like that. So, but there are some parameters to the program, but it's our Book a Bike program. And we encourage you to check out a bike to ride in close proximity on the Rails to Trails bike path right near our parking lot. So book a bike. You can ask about that at the library.
And if people want to learn, because you've got so much stuff, we could be here for a few hours.
We could be.
740-446-READ.
Correct.
That gets you, that's READ, that gets you to the main line, information line. They can also go to the website, which is
bossardlibrary.org.
That gives you all kinds of information on things to do. And one thing that was always a favorite of mine as a kid, is there still Dial a Story?
There sure is.
And the number for that is
740-446-7666.
And that number, if you've got a kid who is interested, just the imagination, to be able to call and just listen to a story. I remember doing that as a kid, and that was a fantastic asset that the library has offered for years. Do you still have the people who go to the schools and do the reading to the kids too?
Yes, we do. We do a lot of outreach program in the schools, Josh. So we go to where the kids are. We believe in that. So we do a lot of outreach program in the schools. Do some things with daycares. Yeah, we have a lot of partnerships. We partner with the French Art Colony for the Story Walk.
Yes.
So that changes out usually monthly. So take your family and read on the beautiful grounds of the French Art Colony.
When I was in elementary school, a gentleman came to the school all the time, and I can't remember his name.
Probably Chad Guthrie.
That was him.
Yeah.
Mr. Guthrie.
Yeah, Mr. Guthrie.
Debbie, thank you for coming in today. It's flown by. Again, if you have any questions, you can go to the library's website, or you can call 740-446-READ. That's 446-READ. And get all the information. Debbie, as we get closer to some of these events, let's have you back on and let's go over it again.
Let's do it.
Until next time, don't forget, you can listen to this podcast every Sunday morning on 93.1 WJEH-FM, or see us on our website, or on our Facebook page, rather, every Friday afternoon. So until next time, we'll see you then.